No, we should probably go back and deal with that knight. I think. You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Gostock. Good job, Knobhead. But we're back. Now, is the door going to shut behind us again? Probably, is my guess. Do we want to top up now? Yes. And do we also want to switch to Glintblade just because he might use a shield to ruin our day? Okay, the door's not closing this time, that's nice. He only tries to get you with that trick once, it seems. Top stealth, does that get us anywhere? Not really. What about being cheeky and hiding across these beams? Can he reach us over here? Is he going to try? Probably not. Have we confused the poor boy? Maybe. God, that's just low. Come on. Come out to play. Can we close the door? No. Can we run in? I mean, we can. But then we get bodied. But then we grab the key. And then we sneak over here. Grab the runes, grab the chest. Grab the fat loot. Get almost killed in the process. And get killed, yeah. But we've moved our runes slightly towards the door, maybe. Or have we? Didn't even need the talisman, did I? Just picked it up because it was loot. And I'm a loot goblin. Yeah, we're not using guard counters. Right, can we kill this guy in an amusing fashion again? Yeah, we can. Every time. Now, we got the key already, didn't we? So... guess the only reason we're coming in here is for the runes. Ah, come on. Come on, lost runes, retrieve. There we go. Yep, we got them. Now we can run away. Whee! Whee! Is he going to follow us? I don't think so. Good. Now, we've got this lad around the corner, haven't we? So, let's see. No? Yep. I mean, what even is that? It's just like a slap, basically. So this was progress and the other way was optional, yeah? The other way had a bit of loot here and there, but nothing else major. So we want to find ourselves another site of grace up here somewhere, I feel. Although having ventured a couple of times through Stormvale recently, maybe we'll just find another site of grace and then go somewhere else for a bit. There we go. What does Golden Rune 4 give us? 1200, you say? Good. So if we can kill like a couple of enemies, and there's burbs out here. We are good against burbs. Oops. Ooh. That's pretty effective actually. Given as it's an AoE, I expected it to not be that hot. But here we are. There we go. Yeah, I want to leave this place for a bit. Head over into Leona of the Lakes, perhaps, because it seems like that might be a good place for a magic user to chill. Yeah, Vigor. You can't go wrong with Vigor. Let's get it up to 40 before we do anything particularly exciting. Now, what have we discovered over here? Anything much? We've got the lake shore. Let's just bob over and have a look. Ah, this was the other guy who sells lanterns. So we don't need to run all the way down to the Weeping Peninsula with anyone who's been up here. So it seems like coming up here early is a good bet, because you can get the lantern and you can get Roderica to move. So it's just all round pretty smart, I think. Now where do we go? We've got this eastern side of Leona. But then we've also got a map marker there. Are we supposed to get to that through the swamp or across the bridge? Maybe we'll head in its vague direction and see what's up. So yeah, it looks like we're probably heading out into the swamp. Oh, that's cool. We can do that. Oh good, we can one-shot things over here. That's promising. Suggest this is an area that we're allowed to be right now. Oops. I was trying to lock on to enemies, and there weren't any, so I just jumped off the old horse. Oh jeez, didn't see that lad coming. It's a bit tricky casting spells on the old horse. Sometimes they seem to fire off in random, wrong directions, but what can you do? Spirit Springs? They're always exciting. Oh, goodness. What are you? You're the Malefactor's Evergaol. Okay. Oh, there's some tombstones. So that would drop us back down onto our chum. Okay. Let's see what's up in this direction along these cliffs. Now, is there anything exciting in this direction? There's caves. Ooh, there's shadowy bits. It's all well and good. Are you following us? Yeah, you are. You seem to be a bit tougher than the average bear. Whoa. Whoa! Jeez! What the hell? I guess they were like those little buggers in Caelid. Maybe I'll switch to Glintblade, because it might be a bit easier to fire on horseback. Oh, there's where that other lad dropped from, probably. I saw him up on the rock formation there. Lobsters, good. Just what we wanted. Ruins, though. Ruins are always fun. And churches. The purified ruins. Well, that can't be bad, can it? Nice bit of purified ruin to stroll around in. Nice place for a holiday. Bring the kids. Not seeing any little underground bits, but I am seeing horrible dogs. Are you also part of the purified ruins up here? And what are you doing? Out one and all from the darkness underground. Let's offer the maiden our eyes. Yes, why not? Let's all give our eyes to some maidens. Yep, bugger off, dog. It's a bit tough. There's a stake there. Never a good sign. I assume it's going to take 2 glint blades to put you down. Nice. Oh god, someone's blown the horn. So here come 300 dudes. Jeez, there's a lot of them. God. What? There's fucking hundreds of... Jesus, what was all that? Now, we were going to go and do the old quest, weren't we, for Arena? Mostly because I want the whip that's in Castle Morn. Yeah, nice try, giant friend. You want to try that again? Of course you do. Yeah, he's going to keep having a go. And we're not going to have any of his nonsense. That was easy. I thought he was going to fall over at least before we got him, but I suppose he's already weakened, isn't he? Yeah. 5,000 runes. Wait, did he just drop 5,000 runes? Maybe it was another glowing enemy that gives you bonus runes. Because we've just spent them all, haven't we? Fair enough. Won't complain. We'll just crack on with Castle Morn, I guess. Now, which way was progress? Was it right and up there? And what loot might be worth snagging before we make progress? Dogs. Stop that. Thank you. I mean, yeah, Smith and Stones are always welcome. Now we can circle around to old Pumpkinhead. Right. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the spear at all, so the whip could be more fun. It's just very straight and thrusty. As you might expect from a spear, to be honest. But if enemies decide to do a little bit of dodge, then yeah, it all falls apart for us pretty quick. There's definitely some punch-ups happening somewhere. Even with the spear being +7, it doesn't seem terribly strong compared to everything else that everyone else is using. That's a nice attack. Sanctuary Stone, lovely. Right, so coming up this ladder to the top was one way. Was this the right way though? Or was the other way where you get the claymore the right way? I can't remember. Stop that. Cheeky get. No, maybe if we two-handed we might be doing better damage. That's a good point. Brain. Glad you finally joined in on that. Oh, and I guess that's another way to get to Claymore door without having to sneak past all those guys on the corpse pile. Hadn't considered that. Now, you gonna pop over? Of course you are. You're a bit tougher than some of the others. Yeah, definitely a touch tougher, but not tough enough. Not tough enough to survive an arrow to the face, anyway. Any more? Does anybody else want a taste? Or is that it for up here? No, you could drop down there. Is that the way that leads to Edgar? It might be. So we should probably start there. Deal with that guy before he even knows what hits him. Although, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's aware of us now. But, yeah, too quick for him. Eventually. Now, let's see what's going on over here. You are getting beaten up badly, my friend. But now you're going to try and beat me up, so guess you can go down too. And get the Lordsworn's shield. Cool. Now then, friend Edgar.
I'm Edgar. You can see menials. They gave me foul creep. I'm sorry, but whatever you come take this.
Sacrificial twigs, all well and good, but here's your letter.
I can't, even if the cat to ensure that if you see her father will.
Right, so that's that bit dealt with. Now it's a case of finding our way through the rest of the castle. Yeah, it's going to be a case of remembering the old way around now. Well, actually, I've got no idea, so I'm just going to explore a bit more. But this looks good. This looks promising. You should probably use a flask, you know, given as I'm just roaming around with barely any health. It looks like we've got no sacred tears yet, which is a bit silly. Surely we've got sacred tears. We've got... Have we not even been to the Church of Marika? And picked up the Flask of Wondrous Physic? We haven't. Bloody hell. Annie is ill prepared for these adventures. Yes, yes, I forgot about you, but I remembered just in time. Yeah. But now which way? Is that it for this side? Is it a case now of going back up and then getting through the Claymore route? It might well be. So, yeah. Well, it didn't go well for that lad. What with the whole falling to his death thing. Might have been able to save him if he'd got there a bit quicker, but then, yeah, he would have just killed us, so... sod him. Probably let this ruckus play out and just climb up here. You lot have fun down there. And I will keep going and see if we can't find our way to a site of grace. So drop off there. Yeah, that's about all we can do over here. Oh no, that leads us back there, doesn't it? Oh well. Guess that was an error. But we can drop down there without any issue, and we'll be back up there in a second to deal with those fighting lads. Maybe half of them would have killed each other by the time we get there. At least one of them's just dropped. Yeah, they're all just taking each other out, so that's fine. And everyone's dead. Excellent. Foot Soldier Greaves, Chain Drape's Tabard. Cool. And the old Fur Calling Remedy. Nice. Now, what are these Greaves? They are slightly better. Not so good against Slash, but slightly better all round, so maybe we'll pop them on. Now, do you want to come over? You do, kinda. Oh, so does your mate. I guess we got both your attentions. Nope, your mate's gone back to stabbing. He's like, yep. Jerry's got this. Turns out Jerry didn't have this, my friend. And we got ourselves a steel wire torch that we're never going to use. Still no closer to finding any more sites of grace. No idea which way I should be going to do that. Remember we have to jump off a cliff to get to one, but... yeah, which cliff and where and why? Because there's no jumping off points there. That just takes us back down to there. Is it over there I need to be? Maybe. Yeah, there's nothing immediately threatening us, so I guess we can just stroll around and have a look. I'd drop off the side somewhere onto a platform. But which platform and where and why? Because that just leads to Edgar, doesn't it? It was this bit, wasn't it? Yes, good. Got there in the end.